The sun blazed over Fort Ridge as the recruits assembled for morning drills. Dust rose from the parade ground, curling around their boots like smoke. Among them stood a young woman, Ava Cole, her face unreadable beneath the brim of her cap. She had arrived just 3 days earlier, and already whispers followed her like shadows. Some said she got in through a favor, others that she was a dropout from another unit. But when Sergeant Drake barked orders and the recruits began their runs, it wasn't her speed they mocked, it was her silence. "Look at her," one of the men snickered. "Too delicate for this place. She'll quit before Friday." Ava heard him. She said nothing, but her fists tightened around her water canteen, knuckles white. "Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening." By noon, the heat was merciless. Sweat burned through uniforms and tempers rose with the temperature. During endurance drills, Ava stumbled just once, and laughter rippled through the ranks. Even Drake smirked. "Cole, if you can't handle a little dirt, maybe this isn't your kind of playground." Ava's jaw clenched, but she didn't speak. She simply nodded and fell back into line. That night, under the dim flicker of barrack lights, she sat alone, wrapping her wrist with a strip of cloth. Beneath it, a faded tattoo peeked through, one she kept hidden, though not well enough. It was small, barely the size of a coin, but the design was unmistakable, a falcon diving through fire. Across the room, Private Mills, the loudest of her critics, noticed it. "Hey, Cole," he called. "What's that on your wrist? Some cute little birdie?" A few others laughed, and Ava quickly covered it. "It's nothing," she said quietly, but the mocking spread. "Maybe it's her pet name, Falcon Girl," someone jeered. The laughter rolled louder this time. Ava went to bed early that night, staring at the ceiling, the memory of a different place pressing heavy on her mind, the sound of rain on a corrugated roof, the echo of gunfire, a voice calling her name through smoke. She thought she'd left it all behind. She was wrong. The next morning brought inspection day. Commander Lawson, known for his ruthless precision, walked the line. The recruit straightened as his boots struck the gravel. He stopped in front of Ava. Her uniform was spotless, her posture perfect. But when he raised his eyes, they fell on her wrist, the edge of the tattoo now visible as she saluted. Lawson froze. The recruits behind him shifted uneasily. Then his voice dropped to a tone that silenced the field. "Recruit Cole, where did you get that tattoo?" Ava hesitated. The wind tugged at her collar. "Sir, it's from a past assignment." Lawson's gaze hardened. "A past assignment?" He motioned for her to follow. The group exchanged curious looks as the two disappeared into the command tent. Mills whispered, "She's done. Wait and see." Inside, the air was cooler, thick with the scent of old canvas and inked maps. Lawson studied her across the table. "That falcon," he said slowly. "It's not a decoration. It's the insignia of Task Force Ember, classified ops. Only one person carried that mark without rank." Ava swallowed hard. "My brother designed it, sir. Before he—" Her voice cracked. "Before he didn't come back." Lawson's eyes narrowed. "Your brother was Captain Daniel Cole?" She nodded. The commander sat back, silence stretching between them. "He saved 12 men during the Red Valley ambush. I was there." His voice softened, a flicker of something human breaking through his steel tone. "He was one of the finest soldiers I ever knew." Outside, the recruits stood restless. When Lawson emerged, every pair of eyes turned to him. His usual scowl was gone, replaced with something almost reverent. He faced the unit. "From this day forward, Recruit Cole will be addressed with the respect she's earned." Mills frowned. "Earned, sir. She's—" Lawson cut him off. "Her brother gave his life in service to this flag, and she carries his mark not for vanity, but in remembrance." He paused, letting the weight of his words settle. You mocked what you didn't understand. Let that be a lesson. The ground was silent. Even the wind seemed to still. Ava stood motionless, eyes fixed on the horizon. Training resumed, but the air had changed. No one laughed at her again. Instead, when she ran, others matched her pace. When she lifted weights, they encouraged her. Slowly, the isolation she'd carried began to fade. Weeks later, during a storm evacuation drill, Mills slipped on a slick platform, nearly plunging into a ravine. Ava was the one who caught him, her arm straining, wrist tattoo visible through the rain. He looked up at her, shame and gratitude colliding in his eyes. "Why'd you save me?" he whispered. Ava smiled faintly. "Because that's what my brother would have done." When the commander saw them return, drenched and exhausted, he simply nodded. "Looks like the Falcon still flies," he murmured. That night, Ava sat by her bunk, tracing the tattoo with a finger. The laughter that once haunted her now echoed with camaraderie. She whispered, almost to herself, "I made it, Danny. Just like you wanted." Because kindness doesn't vanish. It waits, and it finds its way back. And as the moonlight brushed across her wrist, the ink seemed to glow faintly, as if the Falcon itself was soaring once more. If this story moved you, tell me in the comments. What do you think Ava's brother would say if he could see her now? And don't forget to subscribe to Whispered Words, where every story reminds us that courage lives quietly until it's called upon.